Good afternoon and welcome to the States. It is a Friday. Thank God it's Friday. The show is brought to you by Christian Service University, located in Kumasi in the Ashanti region. My name is Gabriel Ankrah. Do stay. I'll be right back with the details.
The Christian Service University, a fully chartered private university in Ghana, is inviting applications for admission. Undergraduate programs include BSc Nursing and Midwifery, Computer Science, Information Technology, Bachelor of Business Administration, BA Communication Studies, Planning and Social Development, and Theology with Administration. Postgraduate programs include MSc in Accounting and Finance, Monitoring and Evaluation, Corporate Planning and Governance. We have MA MPhil Communication Studies, MA Christian Ministry with Management, Event Management, MPhil English and Mathematics Education. With quality, faculty and state-of-the-art facilities, we blend academic work with entrepreneurial mindset in all our programs. For more information, please call 0246-275375, 0240-154825, or 0244-596603, or visit our website www.csuc.edu.gh. CSU is located at Odenaho Kwadaso on the Kumasi Obuasi Road, 100 meters off Star Junction. Choose CSU today to secure the future of Africa.
And to make him better known. That's
Sorry, not sure.
Wake up to a purposeful day.
Get ready for a transformational morning experience.
Sorena Shrine is here to build our spirituality, mental and physical well-being.
Through positive, inspiring actions and stories.
We bring you exciting activities and conversations that develop us as a people and as a nation.
We take a look at the trending issues in Ghana and the rest of the world.
And we also review the impacting stories from our local newspapers.
Every morning, we bring you stories of hope, change, and renewal.
We empower you through the Word of God and provoke you to live the purposeful life destined for you.
Join us, Anita Kwaku,
and the Reverend Ajika Vincent Agbamanya, Monday to Friday from 5:30 a.m. to 10 a.m. as we take you on an inspiring journey, live and exclusively on WTV.
You may also join us on Facebook at WTV Ghana and on YouTube at Wesleyan TV Ghana.
Sorry, not shrine.
Wake up to a purposeful day.
Sorena Shrine is brought to you by
Danwell Insurance, Multi-Credit Savings and Loan,
and the Methodist University Ghana.
Welcome back on W Briefs today. So in case you are joining us for the first time, what we do on this segment, W Briefs, is that we give an executive summary of the topic for discussion for the day. So this afternoon, what are we looking at? Earlier on this year, a group of journalists staged a demonstration dubbed Save Our Football. They wrote many petitions to the Parliamentary Select Committee on Sports. And this caused the committee to hold the authorities of football in Ghana to appear and answer certain questions. What even broke the camel's back was when on the 5th of September, the Black Stars of Ghana lost to Angola in a qualifier at the Baba Yara Sports Stadium in Kumasi. Ghanaians took to social media and lashed out at the authorities. The pitch negatively affected our performance. Inadequate grass cover, drainage, poor staff, everything around the stadium. This afternoon on the state, we are looking at sports infrastructure. Are we committed as a country? Are we really investing much into infrastructure so that we get the results as we desire? I'll take a quick break, and when I return, you will meet my guest. Please stay with me. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back. On the stage this afternoon, we are looking at sports infrastructure. How committed are we as a people or as a country? Have we invested that much to expect the needed results we so desire? The show is sponsored by Christian Service University. Christian Service University is an evangelical liberal arts institution established 50 years ago to train men and women with ethical values for transformational leadership in Africa. Admissions for 2024-2025 academic year is in progress for undergraduate and postgraduate programs. CSU offers dynamic academic and industry-driven programs in nursing, midwifery, business administration, communication, planning, and computer science. For more information, please contact our admission relations officers on 0246275-375, 0240-154-825, 0244596603, or visit our website on www.csuc.edu.gh. Choose CSU today to secure the future of Africa. CSU, the university of choice. So we are glad to have with us on the show today to join in the conversation a young sports journalist, a very interesting personality who will be, I can assure you and promise you that you enjoy the sports analyst. He's a young man. His name is 𝗟𝗜𝗩𝗘. He's with us in the studio, and we're also joined on the line by a sports journalist, 𝗟𝗜𝗩𝗘. So these are the gentlemen who are going to help us look and dissect the issue and see the solutions that we can find to them and prefer to the powers that be for solutions going forward. John, you like to be called 𝗟𝗜𝗩𝗘?
𝗟𝗜𝗩𝗘, yes.
Yeah, 𝗟𝗜𝗩𝗘, welcome to the show and on the stage.
Great,
great. Isaac, welcome if you can hear us. Isaac is joining us on the phone. Hi, Isaac. Isaac, if you can hear me.
Yes, I can hear you.
Great. Thank you very much for joining us on the stage this afternoon.
Sure.
Great. So let me start with Isaac. 𝗟𝗜𝗩𝗘, you are with me in the studio. So let me begin with Isaac. I'll come to you right quickly soon. Ike, the state of infrastructure of our football. We're looking at sports, but in particular, we are looking at sports, the infrastructure. You know, Ocotober and the Angolan coach complained bitterly after the last match. You are in the space. Give us a picture as your preliminary comment. What is the state of infrastructure of our football or our sports in the country?
Well, thank you very much. And if you say sports, then it encompasses we're looking at a very broad scope. But if we want to narrow it down to football, then I think it has to do with various, football stadia.
Yeah.
There are stadium, the Cape Coast Stadium, the People Sports Stadium, Akimam Stadium in Tamaki, and all of the sports stadium is down here. Now we have the effect of Ghana Sports Stadium, but again, Athletics Associate, they are saying that it was purposely built to serve athletic purpose. So we can't that, but Legon cities are using that as there in the Ghana plan. So it's quite a lot of challenges on our hands.
Yeah, Isaac, your line seemed to be breaking. We'll fix the line and then get back to you if you don't mind. Yeah, John Fo, let me come to you in the studio. So just like I asked Isaac, what is your comment? What is what is the picture like? Sports infrastructure, and we are narrowing ourselves to our football stadiums as we have our stadia.
So I think with the stadium, I think we have invested a lot within the past 5 years when it comes to sports infrastructure and narrowing it down to football especially. And if you look at this situation with the Baba Sports Stadium, in 2022, the last 2 years, we had an issue with the stadium when we were about to host Nigeria. So we had issues about that, the stadium, the infrastructure, the pitch, the inside the facilities and everything. We had problems with it. So CAF almost banned us for that match. We were in that same situation as we are at this moment. So it shows you we have still not changed and we have invested a lot. And if you look, FIFA even came out to say that they gave the GFA $260,000 to invest on our pitches and to maintain our pitches. So the emphasis is on how the money that has been given to us by CAF, has it been by FIFA? Have we used it to invest in our stadiums, our stadia in the country? And you look at the current state of Barbara. We've closed it down. This is not the first time we've closed the Barbara Stadium down. If you've been following, we've closed it down for 2 weeks, 1 month, and still we are having the same problems with this Barbara Sports Stadium. And if you look, CAF recently came and they have approved that we'll be hosting the game against Sudan next week. And if it wasn't for the intervention of our president, I don't think this match would have been done in Ghana, and this would have been a huge disgrace on Ghana. And I think we've invested a lot into our football and our stadium and our infrastructure. Even this year, or the All African Games, we spent about $195 million on sporting infrastructure. You can look at the likes of the Boteman complex and the Legon Stadium that was recently completed. And we've invested a lot, but how can you invest in something which will not reach the standards of an organization or something you really want to invest in? So sometimes I think when we the people doing football, if they think they are doing football, I don't think we are really doing football, because how can you invest in something which does not meet the required standards? So I think we've invested a lot into it, but the result, we are not seeing the much needed result.
You mentioned the recently held All African Games, the Boteman and the Legon Stadia. That one has maybe we can argue that by and large the capacity is small, so about 10,000. Even
with that, if you were following the All African Games at Boteman, there was a hockey field over there. The South Africans, if you've been following them, they are one of the best countries when it comes to hockey. They said that pitch is not standard, so they said they will not play. And we were supposed to play against them, and they left. They said they forfeited the match, and we were jubilating. Meanwhile, the experts in those fields, they are telling you the field is not good. So it shows you the level we've gone to. Even that stadium, that facility, we've invested a lot of money into. It is not even meeting our requirements. So I don't know where we go from
here. If your line has been worked on, you can hear me. You were listing Stadia and then trying to see the states as they were in before the line tripped. Isaac.
Yes, can you hear me now?
Yeah, it's better now.
Okay, so I was talking about the football infrastructure. You can narrow it down. Then it has to be the football stadium that we have.
Exactly.
And it's quite unfortunate that we are where we are today. We know Ghana. We can argue beyond football that the economy of Ghana is not as powerful like that of the Europeans. So again, it becomes a problem and a challenge. But if you want to dip deeper into the conversation, it's more of priorities. It's more of misplaced priorities by the hierarchy of football in this country, or sports. Let me say the people in charge or manage sports in the country. You know, so it has to do with certain policies being put in place, certain priorities being implemented to see the effectiveness of our stadiums, and that is not happening, and that has become the challenge that we're facing as a country. So it's very important that we acknowledge the benefits football has on the country. I keep saying football is, it's only when the Black Stars, or should I say the national teams, are playing, when football is happening, that we see that sense of nationalism. So again, there are no divides when it comes to football, and it unites us as a people. There are economic benefits that comes along with football. There are a lot of benefits, some quantified, some you can't quantify them. So if we are able to acknowledge properly and put and walk the talk, I think we will be able to overcome some of these challenges. It's quite unfortunate. What we see today is square pegs and round holes at the very top of manning our sports or football in this country, and that has become the problem. It's more of a short-termism approaches to some of the issues that we are facing. And when you do that, you are always going to be exposed in the long term, and that is what is happening.
Great.
So we quick fix stadiums, we quick fix issues, but do not do them properly, and we are unable to maintain or manage them properly, and later it comes back to haunt us. Typical example is the 𝗟𝗜𝗡 Sports Stadium, 2008, wonderful stadium, fantastic. Even it's more of an extent of an example. Let's look at the Baba Yara Sports and the Ankrah Sports. And these stadiums have been going on, have been having a facelift, I mean, for some time now. And we keep having the same challenges that we are facing. The NSA putting the blame on the doorsteps of the ministry equally relaying that blame on the doorsteps of the NSA. Who is to be blamed at the end of it all? Government will need to step its foot in some of these matters. NSA, the agency responsible for managing these facilities, will keep coming back with the same excuse that there are lack of funds to make sure that these stadia or these stadiums are properly managed. And they are not far from the truth. I've had several discussions with past, previous NSA bosses, current ones, and they tell you the same. They are laid the same challenges. They tell you there is a lack of funds. They are willing to do it, but there's a lack of funds to support this cause. Government, we know how government, operations are. The bureaucracy, I mean, the government is, so we know how these things operate. The bureaucracy in implementing things is always a challenge. With the private sector, it's quite different. Private man will get things done 1 or 2 days quickly. With the government sector, it's quite different and difficult sometimes. There's a lot of dilly-dallying around implementing certain crucial and important things. So it's multifaceted, complex problem.
Yeah.
But with the right managers, with the right frontiers, with the right people leading or manning our affairs, or seeing the true value of what football brings to this nation, I think we can, be halfway through or overcome it totally.
True. Yes. I think you have given a clearer picture of the state. How sports infrastructure, stadia look like. As we speak, CAF has given us a conditional approval for us to go ahead with the Sudan match, and we are playing it at the Ankrah Sports Stadium, as it were. Let me ask you, most Ghanaians were so incensed after our match with Angola when we saw the state of our pitch that we played the tournament on. In Ghana, from you watch football, you travel to some of the stadia. Can you name a stadia that you think are in best shape? Which ones come to mind that you think this one we are good to go?
No, I mean at the moment, under CAF inspection, it's only the Ankrah Sports Stadium that is temporarily convincing. So it's not even going to be my word or my testament or what I've seen. It's what is on paper and what is standardized. And per CAF's inspection or under CAF's inspection, they find the Accra Sports Stadium the only suitable, and that is temporarily, convincing to host international matches. So that's the story. It tells it all. There is none of our stadia in this country is fit to host. There are different categories. We have category A, category B, category C, category 1 to 3, and we take that CAF, stadium license. It's broadly, explicitly stated there. So there are some matches that can be played on Ankrah or the Bavaria Sports Stadium as we speak, but can't host a Black Stars match. The Black Stars match is STEM category 3. That's a high-profile match. But you can host a Waffle Zone B tournament or competition over there. You can host inter-club competition like what Samatex and 𝗟𝗓𝗩𝗘 did, preliminary games at some of these venues. Those are not category 3 matches. But if you want to talk about high-profile Black Star grade A matches, then you need to get everything. And getting stadium ready, people think it's just the pitch. Yes, the pitch is one of the most important, but because the players have to play, it needs to be playable for players to have a smooth, players to be able to have a smooth performance. But again, there are other auxiliary facilities at the stadium that needs to be also checked and be standardized. And these are some of the issues bedeviling Ghana's ability to host international matches. Aside the stadium, there are washrooms, there's a media center, there's supposed to be 24-hour internet connectivity. There is the stands should be in good shape. There's the referees, the washrooms. There are a lot of auxiliary facilities that also need to be standardized to be able to, host this kind of matches that CAF seeks. So it's not just about the pitch, but again, it's quite an embarrassment that Ghana, a football nation, a nation that prides itself as a football nation, and I've been at a World Cup, more times than most African countries on the continent have accrued money from the World Cup, some as high and over $9 to $10 million, and yet cannot fix some of these things. It's sometimes it's confusing. It's very bamboozling to understand some of these things. But again, here we are. We are now picking up the pieces to get back to the top, and I think it should be treated with as an emergency to be able to get back to where we are and even be better in the future.
John Fo, I'll come to you soon, but just to drop the curtain on this tangent that I'm talking with Isaac, we built new ones in recent times. When I say in recent times, in the last 5 to 10 years, we have new one. The Accra Sports Stadium has been in existence for a while now. The government of 𝗟𝗓𝗓𝗘 did an expansion, and then that of the Accra and Bavaria, they did some expansion. So those are old ones that have been there. But recently, Sipon and all that we have renovated Lenkley. Just like you mentioned, there are categories of this stadia that goes on. You have mentioned some of the requirements but there are FIFA and CAF guidelines that gives the standards required. Comparing it with our stadia here, can you list some of what the guideline looks at?
Well, I would have to get back on that, but
that's fine.
Again,
that's fine. Yeah,
I think it's something. Even if I have, the GFA clearly has it. The ministry clearly has it. It's not as if it's a secret, and that's how sometimes they make it look like. It's as if they don't know, but they know. They know these things. These things are boldly expressed within CAF's guidelines, FIFA standards guidelines, and it's there. And it's very accessible too. They are there for everyone to access, and the GFA and the ministry know these things. It's just the commitment. It's just the commitment, the lack of commitment. See, you can have the best expertise in whatever thing you are doing, but if they lack that will and commitment, or if they are compromised, it becomes difficult for them to achieve or be effective. No two ways about that, and that is the problem. Initially, we thought it was ignorance, or incompetence on the part of some individuals. But we realized these people actually know. They are technocrats within the ministry and the GFA who know these things. But it's just sometimes the sheer lack of will to do these things. And again, the complaint about lack of funds to be effective in implementing some of these things. So I think it's something that we should. It's collaborative efforts that will help us come out of this pit. Government should treat this as an emergency. They should step its foot in it. The ministry should be on the lookout every time to make sure that we do not get to where we've come to anymore. No hosting. I'm glad the NSA boss, Mr. Seth Poundboyo, said that the pitches are not going to be given out to non-sporting activities unless they are pitch covers. Unless they are pitch covers, that's the caveat in there. If you don't have pitch covers, we are not going to rent out this area to any church activity, to any religious activity, to any non-sporting activity. This is the way to go. If we are able to take some of these strong measures, I think we can get, headway in fighting or being better, at dealing this issue. So I think it's a lot of issues and a lot of commitment and a lot of willingness.
We need to commit to. Yeah,
the willingness and demand is demanded from those who are manning our sports.
Great. So let me come to John Foe in the studio. John, Isaac mentioned he's mentioned a lot of issues. Some of these are key and Anthony issues that he mentioned the NSA boss saying that in the meantime we are not going to rent out the stadium. Do you think it was a good thing because they complained of money, so we had to get money to maintain the stadium? That is why they were renting the pitches to entertainment people, to religious things. Do you think it was a good intervention?
Yes, I think so. But you see, they don't have the right requirements to be able to maintain the stadium, even when those non-sporting activities are going on. Let me give you an example. If you look at Wembley, use England, for example, Wembley Stadium. Recently, the big boxing bout, the IBF World Championship between Anthony Joshua and Daniel Dubois, it was hosted at Wembley Stadium, and they had pitch covers over there, so the fans were able to come. They were able to host that boxing match, and after that, they removed the pitch cover, and they were able. And next week, England will be playing their Nation League qualifiers next week on that same pitch. And if you look at what is going on over there in England, the pitch is as fresh, as green as everything. So I think the pitch covers is the most important thing. If we are able to get those pitch covers. And as Paun said, we need, and he also stated that he's doing everything, he and his team are doing everything possible to get money to be able to get those pitch covers. So until then, non-sporting activities, if you are coming to host an event, it will be without non-sporting activities, will not be able to go on in the stadium. So I think it's a good step in the right direction, because last year we heard rumors that motorbikes were going on were being rode on the grass and everything, so it's not the best, and that has affected the current state of our pitches. And also recently a church program was also helped.
But if we had the pitch covers,
it could have even been better. But even with that, you don't. For instance, recently Liberia, they had the same church event, but the audience were not on the field. They were sitting on the stands. So the pitch cover was on it, and they had the pastor and everyone was on the pitch, but the people were sitting in the stands. But we Ghanaians, the people were on the pitch. They were praying, they were shouting, "Hey Baba, hey Baba."
But they were given access to it. If they had been stopped by those who were in charge, they wouldn't have gone to the pitch.
And you see, one thing I don't like about this thing is that's the saga between these three institutions: the GFA, the NSA, and the ministry. I don't understand this saga between one who come and say this, then one who does not want to take the blame for it, one does not want to take responsibility. But when excellence is due and when we are successful, one of them wants to come and quickly take the praise, and one of them wants us to praise them and everything, but none of them wants to take up responsibility. Because if you look at the maintenance of the stadium, why is the NSA there? The NSA is there to do what? Oversee the maintenance of the stadium, to make sure that the stadium is in what? A good state. Our stadiums are in a good state and are able to host what? Category 3 matches.
But even per the guidelines, there has to be an annual renovation of these facilities.
You see, and that brings me back to my point. Money has been allocated. It's not as if they have not been given money. They have been given money to do all of these things, but as to what that money has been used to do is what we still don't know, and that has been one of the biggest issues in Ghana: accountability. This week, our GFA president brilliantly he gave an account, the budget, everything, the FIFA World Cup, the monies that were given to the GFA. Everything he said, everything, broke everything down for our board chairman. But as to what those money have been used, and we are not seeing the results. as at now, if the monies were being used correctly and appropriately, I don't think we would have been in this mess right now. And I think CAF themselves, they are even a problem. Last 2 years, Mali, they were banned for 2 years not to host any international match. Current, as we speak today, they have 10 newly renovated stadiums. 5 have been approved, and CAF are now going for an inspection to approve the other 5. So you look at what this ban has done to them. It has helped them, and it has made them effective on their job, and it has made their sporting institutions set up. So I think we should be banned. When you see the rumors were speculating that we will go to Togo. So what it means is that Togo, these people here, Togo, civil player, they have even a better stadium than Ghana. A 4-time winners of the AFCON. We don't even have a standardized stadium, but Togo has. So we have to go and beg them. And what I have from a question is that we were even bound. They did not even want to give us the stadium. So, intervention by the government. Nanado himself had to call Motsepe. I'm not even sure he even got him directly, but through maybe the president of South Africa and maybe some people to be able to seek permission for us to even host the match at the Ankrah Sports Stadium. And it shows you where we are going to. I always say this. We are 4 decades backwards. We are as a sporting nation, and if you are narrowing that as a footballing nation, I think we are 4 decades backward. Because if you look at the things happening right now in our current football, it's not good enough. And to call yourself as a footballing nation, and you don't even have a standardized stadium, a pitch to even play on. And if you look at the facilities in the dressing room, and I was seeing some pictures on across social media, and next week we'll be there and we'll go and see for ourselves, and we can see the pitch over here. I don't know whether they want us to always criticize them before they do their right job, but I don't know why are they there. Why did the president hire them? Why are they in those positions to do what? To do the job effectively. So I think they should set up from henceforth. They have to set up, because this is what we always do. We are able to hey, inshallah, then we are able to fix it. But the aftermath, what we do after it, we just leave it there. Look at the Barbara Sports. I said it earlier, last 2 years, we were in the same situation. We closed the stadium down, and it's still not meeting FIFA standard. And they banned us. The Barbara Sports Stadium will be unable to host matches. And I think they should even ban us from hosting international matches, so that it will serve as a deterrent. So that we will set up and fix the stadiums well. And if you look at the Save Ghana football themselves, you see, sometimes it's very sad. And before our game against Angola in Ghana, I was speaking to our normal fans, and one of them, he told me that right now, I don't follow the Black Stars. We put out, right now, Ghana is hard. He said Ghana is hard. Ghana is heading. So what we put our heart inside is what? The Black Stars, to give us what? Victory, so that at least we'll be happy. And if they don't have a good pitch to play on to give us the result, how do you want our people to support and the nation? Kudus and co playing good pitches outside West Ham Stadium, the landing spot. But when they come to Ghana, look at the kind of pitches and facilities they are met with. So I think our people will have to set up to ensure the betterment of our
So viewers, if you are just joining us, you are still on the state, and this afternoon we are talking sports. We are looking at sports infrastructure. If you are following the news, you know we were more or less barred from hosting some of the qualifiers for the 2025 CAF competition. Our pitches have not been the best. Infrastructure in general have not been the best. So this afternoon we are really probing the issues and then trying to find solutions. And we are privileged that this afternoon we've been joined on the conversation by 𝗟𝗜𝗘, a sports journalist, and also you just heard John Fuameni. He wants to be called John Fo, a sports analyst. We are looking at we have the stadia. A nation that prides itself in the fact that we have won the tournament about 4 times, and Ghana is a footballing nation. It is just like they are saying. It is sad. We'll take a quick break, and when we are back, we'll look at the way forward, the solutions. Is there hope for our football? Is there hope for our infrastructure? Can we be committed to investing more funds into sports infrastructure? Don't go anywhere. Stay with me. It is getting interesting. We might touch on the squad that has been released. Stay.
The Christian Service University, a fully chartered private university in Ghana, is inviting applications for admission. Undergraduate programs include BSc Nursing and Midwifery, Computer Science, Information Technology, Bachelor of Business Administration, BA Communication Studies, Planning and Social Development, and Theology with Administration. Postgraduate programs include MSc in Accounting and Finance, Monitoring and Evaluation, Corporate Planning and Governance. We have MA MPhil Communication Studies, MA Christian Ministry with Management, Event Management, MPhil English and Mathematics Education. With quality, faculty and state-of-the-art facilities, we blend academic work with entrepreneurial mindset in all our programs. For more information, please call 0246 275375, 0240 154825, or 0244 596603, or visit our website www.csuc.edu.gh. CSU is located at Odenaho Kwadaso on the Kumasi Obuasi Road, 100 meters off Star Junction. Choose CSU today to secure the future of Africa.
And to make him better known.
Praise God, praise God. Christ in tea, you respond, yeah, at this year. I'm excited to announce to you, friends in the Lord, are you seeking for a platform where you can pray? Open baby up a soul bomb pie. Now ninyami edi inkita home. Bibi chiro so. And I'm now the same kum. And you're coming home. Let's go into the prayer room on WTV every Friday 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. to meet seasoned ministers of God that God has raised to impact your life. Remember, John Wesley said, I have too much to do, therefore I spend several hours in prayer in able to do it. That is why we are calling upon you. Meet myself, Reverend Hosea Osei, and the Evangelism Missionary Renewal Directorate as we lead you into the prayer room where we encounter Christ. And I believe your life will never be the same. Call your friends, your loved ones every Friday 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. where we will encounter Christ. God bless you. See you on our screens on WTV every Friday 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. God bless you.
Nyansa ekyia ne mpanina no anaye gye ne mpanina no ti baabi biara mpanifo ahyia na yesua ya adwene no ne ope nyansa no oben wa ode agudie kyira adwene mu agudie ene kofie panu sa adwene nsemu mu odo nsemporo Samwa yetie bobra ekoyie frase efifrito ne ope nyansa no omenkwankwa enu ase ne mpani so ayadwene ne be nhira ama no ene ne nchirima yada mo ase
da impanyini inso ayadwene jemre na hweyen memninde ne memninde bia anopa no wotwe wo Wesleyan television so.
Welcome back from the break. You are still on the state, and we've been having a conversation on the state of our stadia or sports infrastructure in Ghana. As you are aware and you've been following, it's not been that pretty good news in recent time, where we have to be barred from hosting certain international matches, or because our pitches and our other sports requirements or infrastructure are not in good shape. We've been looking at it, and we have a sports journalist, Isaac Tete, and then a sports analyst, John Formeni, contributing, or should I say, leading the discussion on this very, very important subject, because football is the heartbeat of the nation. Everybody loves football. It is the one that unites us. Isaac, before we went on the break, if you can hear me on the line, John was suggesting that just like Mali, a classical case, we should be banned for some years so that we can put our stadia in shape and maintain them. Do you agree? Isaac? We'll work the lines to get Isaac. So let me come to you, John, in the studio. You are totally convinced that the only way out is that we are given a break and then we work on our stadia.
Yeah, yes, because it has worked for some countries. Even Rwanda themselves were banned, and right now they have one of the best stadiums in Africa. Recently, they just announced it, and you can see what. And FIFA themselves are even trying to see whether they can even host one of those big matches. So it shows you what this ban has done to some of these countries, and even Mali especially. That I'm always hating on Mali because it has done them a huge favor. Because 10 within the last 2 years, renovating 10 of them within the last 2 years and getting 5 of them to be officially approved by CAF is a huge achievement for them. And when we ourselves went to Bamako in Mali, we saw the difference between them and us. So I think this ban will really help us a lot. But it's nice that we'll get to play this match against Sudan in Ghana because we really need it. And the Sudanese themselves, being coached by ex-Black Stars captain, coach 𝗟𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗓, is going to be a nice match. And if we had not played that match in Ghana, I think it would have been very difficult for us to win that match because Sudan themselves are in a very good run of form. Since 𝗟𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗓 took over the team, he has played 10 matches, won 6, drawn 2, and lost 2. So it shows you the run of form they are. They were very unlucky in their last away game against Angola. The football they played on that nice, beautiful pitch in Angola, and they showed that this team is being well coached, well managed, and well drilled. So it shows you, and if you follow this Sudanese team since the back end of last year, and also their FIFA World Cup qualifier, it shows you can see the progress this team is going to. So this game against Sudan, I think we would need the Black Stars, the fans, the supporters. They would need us to come to the Ankrah Sports Stadium and support them and give them that zeal.
That zeal they do. You linked it to the fact that if we had played the match maybe in Cote d'Ivoire or Togo, it would have demoralized us. It would have.
But now it's coming, and James himself knows. Mr. 𝗟𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗓 knows that playing in Ghana behind the Ankrah people, the Teshi boys, the Zong, all these people coming to the stadium to give them the morale and everything.
He doesn't stand a chance of beating the Black Stars.
I think if you look at the reality, I'm here to give an objective view. If you look at the two teams, I think Sudan themselves, I think player quality, if you look at the player quality, I think we have better players than them. But if you look at their all-round play, I think Sudan are a well-coached team than Ghana. If you look at the way Sudan, watch their game against Angola, the intensity against Angola, and if it wasn't for that deflection, I think that match would have ended in a draw. And they just got their first defeat of the year. And look, if you look at Ghana, their recent form, they've only won 2 matches this year. And they've conceded 16 goals. So it shows you that their defense is also porous and conceding a lot of goals. And this Sudanese team, they have very sharp attackers. So it's going to be a very difficult match. But if we get our things right, I think this match will be able to win. But if you look at the reality itself, I think Sudan are in a better
the reality and the statistics
to beat. Everything is backing them. And as we say, numbers don't lie. Everything is backing the Sudanese team. But history, as we say, can be a good friend to Ghana because we've only lost 1 match against the Sudanese since 2009. So I think history is backing us, but statistics and reality is
backing the Sudanese. I'm sure most Ghanaians and viewers who are following this conversation will be smiling now. Say, who is this young man with this hope in no team but Black Stars? That even brings us to what happened a few hours ago. So viewers, if you have not followed the news and the sports space, the squad or the list for our game against Sudan has been released by the coach of the Black Stars. Maybe it's just appropriate, John, at this stage. Let's look at the squad, the list that has been released.
So I just took a look at the face, and from comparing it to our last squad, I think there's now an inclusion of another local-based player. And I think after the call-up, people were complaining that we should give the local players a chance. We should give them a chance. And I think 𝗟𝗓𝗩𝗘 from Samatex, he was very instrumental in their league win last season. Last season, Samatex 1996 won the league for the first time, and he was very instrumental in that. And I think a huge boost for Ghana that Alexander Djiku is back. The last international break, he was unavailable, and we saw how that affected us. But even with that, we've conceded a lot. Our defense has been very porous, and he himself, his partnership with Salisu has been shaky a few times. We saw the match against Central African Republic in Kumasi, very shaky defending over there. So I'm just hoping that Coach Odoado will be able to get his defense right. And you look at the attack, everyone is talking about Mohamed Kudus. Mohamed Kudus.
Let's just bring our viewers up to speed on a list that has been released. Lawrence Atiziki is in the post for us. We also have Joseph Wallacott. Wallacott is Wallacott. And then we have Frederick Asare, Tariq Lamte, Kingsley Schneider. Schneiderli. The defense, we have Alexander Djiku. You mentioned Abdul Mumin is also in the defense. Mohamed Salisu is there. Jerome Opoku is also in the defense. Ali Duseidu is there. Gideon Mensah, and then Isaac Afu. The midfield, Thomas Partey is manning the midfield. Ibrahim Sulemana is also the Majid Ashmeru is also manning the midfield for us. Elisha Owusu and Mohamed Kudus. I think is the lover boy. Is Ghana's favorite so far. Everywhere Kudus. Yeah. And then also the midfield. And forward we have Ibrahim Usman. And as Noyama is also playing forward for us. It's Fatao. Fatao is there. And then Antoine Semenyo is there forward. Jordan Ayew, Joseph Paintil, Brandon, Thomas Asante, and then Naki Williams. You think it's a good selection?
I think it's a good selection. But with the Isaac Afu issue, I'm just hoping that it's not because we've spoken out about this. This week, our ex-captain Stephen Appiah also spoke about the issue of us giving the local players the chance. I'm just hoping that it's because he has watched him, Isaac Afu himself, as a player. He's a very good defender. And we know what he can bring to our defense. But we've seen this kind of call-out before. Richmond Lamptey, earlier this year, was called to the Blaster and did not even get 1 minute at the Blaster. So we've seen this before. So we are hoping that it will not be the same situation for him. But I think this squad itself, just getting the players to play the style he wants them to play. And since Otoado came, I think we've not seen the way he wants to play. And I think that has been the main issue with journalists and sports people, football lovers around the country, that what is Ghana's style of play? People say I love football, but we did not see that in our last 2 games against Niger and Angola. So we are hoping that this time, against this very solid Sudanese team, at least you'll be able to implement his team. And we know it's time, but with time, at least we have to see results. We should not be like the team in Manchester. They have been given time, but we still are not seeing results. So we hope that our games against Sudan, home and we'll be playing them both legs.
Yeah, the 11th and the 15th of October.
And that one, it will be outside. We'll not be playing in Sudan. We'll be playing, I think, in Liberia. So I think it's going to be a very interesting match. And if we are not able to at least get 4 points from this, I think it will be very difficult for us to qualify for Morocco 2025, because right now we just have, I think we have a point. We lost against Angola and we drew against Niger, so we just have a point. And it's left with about, I think, 4 matches.
4 matches to go. What is really our style of play?
I think.
What is our style?
I think possession-based team, we like to possess the ball a lot, dominates the midfield, but we've not seen that in recent times. You look at the midfield we have currently, Thomas Partey and Ashmeru, in my view, is one of the best ball carriers the Ghana Black Stars has. And Thomas Partey himself has been through a rough patch and an injury patch. And Otoado, from where he is from, the German-based system, they are more aggressive. They like to play intense football, high intense
Chase
football, chase the ball and everything. And sometimes we don't see that from 𝗟𝗩𝗘 himself, demanding more from his players. And you look at the lackadaisical performances of some of these players, when they lose the ball, then they are walking. And I love Kudus himself. But when you look at the way sometimes nonchalantly he gives the ball away, and it's like he does not care. Semenyo himself, when they lose the ball, it's like they don't want to play for the shirt. And our ex-captain was making that statement. Out of a population of over 32 million, you have been chosen, 25 players of you have been chosen to do or represent the country. So he himself said it's a big deal. So just die for the country, because choosing 25 people out of other players were there. We had other players performing out there, but they were not chosen. You were chosen to come and represent the country. So I think they should just give their best from the country, and the coach himself will have to demand more from them. Yeah.
Our strikers seem not to be able to score. They don't score.
I think that is from the midfield. The chances being created for them, and sometimes I think I don't blame them. Their pitch.
Can we have the Asamoah Gyan's of old?
See, I think the quality has dropped in terms of quality. I think in terms of quality it has dropped. We look at those times. We had Stephen Appiah, we had the likes of Sule Muntari, we had the Bull, Michael Essien, and in defense Stephen Appiah, all those players over there, Kojo Asamoah, our goalkeeper Olele and co. So I think that in terms of quality, it has dropped a bit. But these players, this week, even look at this week, and I was discussing it with my father. You look at this week, our players playing abroad. Salisu was just named man of the match for Monaco in one of their recent Champions League matches, and he was named in their team of the week. Semenyo scored a wonderful goal against Southampton on Monday. Just yesterday, Iñaki Williams scored a goal in Atletico Bilbao. So these players are performing outside. Why is it that when they come to Ghana, they are not able to gel and play together? We know it's time, but at least we should see glimpses of them reaching the top, top pinnacle again. So it's going to be very difficult. And sometimes if results don't go their way, the questions will be asked. Is 𝗟𝗩𝗘 up to the task? Is he the right man for the job? Because out of all the coaches, 𝗟𝗩𝗘 was the one chosen by the GFA to come and lead this team. And we saw what he did in qualifying us for the World Cup in 2022. So we know he's capable of doing it. But you see, when you bring out a criteria and he does not even meet one, and the Sudanese coach James Appiah meets one, and you don't choose him, and you are going to face up against him, what do you think will be running through his mind? That he wants to prove a point against the GFA that he was the right man for the job. So that game itself is between two teammates. They were teammates in the 2006 World Cup, and they are now going to face each other in this AFCON qualifier. So it's going to be a very interesting
game. Yeah. John, let me just lastly take you mentioned the players getting to gel so that they can play together. Some have argued that we should go back to where we pick players from the academy, and then because they bond over a period. But you pick players from their teams, the foreign, you go and do scouting, and you bring them together, and you expect them to play together. It's difficult.
So I think that has to do with how the transition from our you see, we have the under 16, under 17, then under 20, the under 23, then we come to the Starlets, then we come to the Black Stars. So I think the transition from those national teams to the Black Stars has been a problem. And recently, the under 20 coach Desmond Ofei just called up his under 20 team, and they will be playing in the Waffle Zone.
So we should look critically at the transition
from that stage to the Black Stars. And from what I'm hearing, 9 of those players who recently won the All-African Games have departed from the team. We don't know their whereabouts right now. So that has been the problem with that. So going outside to fish for foreign-based players, them coming different backgrounds, different ideas, different plays, and some of them don't even know how to speak the local language. So it's very difficult for them to gel together. And in the age of social media, some of them will just come, take their phones and be playing.
It's a huge lesson. Maybe let's bring back the love. Are you not surprised, ladies and gentlemen, with my studio guest? His name is John 𝗟𝗩𝗘. It's the 𝗟𝗩𝗘, the legendary Moses 𝗟𝗩𝗘. That's a son. So I'm not surprised he's doing sports, he's doing analysis. It's in the blood. So, John, thank you very much for joining us on the state. We've looked at the sports infrastructure in Ghana, particularly our pitch. We've looked at the squad that has been released by the coach of the Black Stars, Ocotober. Let us bring back the love. Let's support our Black Stars. At least we are playing the match in our backyard. Let's pray for them. A win is good for us. So bring back the love. Ghana, all the way. Let's support Black Stars. Thank you very much for joining us. I do not take your presence with me for granted. I'm back on Monday. Have a happy weekend. Stay well rested and then go to church. Let's show love for one another. Go Black Stars. See you on Monday. Goodbye.